today, obviously, I'm on Bob. And look, I don't have much time because my phone's going to die. But here's where I'm at. I am still fiberglassing those holes. So big fat newsflash, I put the launch date for the boat to be July 18th, which is Dad's birthday. Happy birthday, Dad. Dad's concerned that on one of his other birthday sailing adventures, he almost sunk the boat, and I think he had to get towed by the Coast Guard, and cat hair clogged the bilge pump. Maybe Dad can tell us that story. We'll see if I can get him to tell it. Anyway, so long story short, we are going to launch the boat on July 18th. I would love for as many people to come as they can. If we don't take the boat out that day, because we are dependent on high tide, so we can't take the boat out if it's low tide. So high tide is at 3:30 on July 18th. So we will drop the boat in the water around 2:30. And we can always go out the next day. But the launch date is July 18th. So if you want to be here, please do. We will have cake and wine, maybe. Or champagne. We're not renaming. Although I did order new letters for Bob. I'll show you all that stuff when it comes in. July 18th. That's all I got, guys. It's like I'm super excited. I'm just going to get back to work. And any one of you that have any kind of skills that want to come down here and help me finish up this boat, come on down. Promise you'll get covered in fiberglass, and it's absolutely undignified, but I am super excited to learn it. Okay, peace out, y'all. Enjoy this week's episode. Bye. Let's do a quick recap on the problem so everybody's up to speed.
Houston, we have a problem.
It all started when Dad sent me this video of a little string of water coming out of the keel of our sailboat. So I drove out to the boatyard, got out a multi-tool, and cut a hole in the side of the boat, a bigger hole. And when I did that, water started pouring out. It poured and it poured. And I was curious about how the water was in there. Like, that's not supposed to be there. So I got a hold of a snake camera and stuffed it on inside there, fed it through, and discovered a fairly large cavern or void cavity in the keel of our sailboat. Was a little unsure what to do, but after much deliberation, we decided to pour it with this stuff, or fill it with this stuff, which is a high density closed cell waterproof foam. We'll go down inside that, poof up, and boom, that's what we have left. But now it's time to fix this. Returning back to the boat, I discovered that someone had removed the stairs that go up to the top of the boat, and ended up having to get up there with a ladder. But Buddy did not want to use the ladder, so he settled for a toolbox. We're right in the box. Don't do anything strange. Okay. Stay. Sorry, let's try that again. Stay.
I got some on my mouth. I said something to my dad the other day. I forgot what it was about. Epoxy in your hair. Oh, and I dripped epoxy on the outlet, the shore power outlet. and I kind of had to replace it.
Fiberglass has a lot of little steps. So you need a good table to cut at, to sit at, to be patient, mix your epoxy, and have all the tools you need right there at your fingertips. That's my Milwaukee pack out. No, I wasn't paid to say that. I love my toolbox. Running to the hardware store is a daily thing for me and Buddy. And Herd's Hardware in Deltaville, Virginia has been fantastic about letting Buddy shop in their store and check out. He's such a dork. Now we're going back to the boat, where I'm going to show you how to make some thickened fiberglass epoxy putty that I use to backfill these holes. This might be boring, so if you're not into the technical stuff, now's a good time to grab a snack.
A few moments later.
To show you guys how I am making this fiberglass putty. There's the resin, there's the hardener. I've been using this colloidal silica. It's a filler and like a thickener, so I kind of equate it to making biscuits and gravy. The thicker you want it, the more silica. First I mix up the fiberglass, okay? And I do a combination of lengths like this and cuts like this. So it's pretty easy to cut and spread. This is the matted one. This is not the woven. So matted is for building up. So if you're trying to build up a space, and in my case, not just a space, but also a void. This is the product that you use for building up. I also am pretty diligent about pulling it apart because, kind of like with the gravy, you know, lumps and little clumps of flour are not good. And so what happens if you don't separate it, you get clumps of unmixed resin, and the hardener won't get in there, and then you'll get a pocket in your cures. So I try to make sure that I'm pretty careful about using my hands. Like, yes, I have the gloves on, and I'm already sticking because I had some epoxy, but so as you can see, my little cup is sort of filling up, but not really. And I'm just going to keep pulling and then cutting, right? And I don't actually know why I do the cutting, other than I just like the idea of having some smaller stuff in there for bulk. But yeah. So here is my wad of fiberglass shards. All right, now the next thing I do is mix up the silica. The silica is very wonky. Use a little like cup, so like a little measuring cup. It's very, when I say wonky, what do I mean by that? I mean that it will fly around a lot. So it's very light and airy, and it likes to run around. So I try to cover, and then again, I use my hands a lot. I think it's okay as long as you have your gloves on and they're protected. It's just that with this stuff, you're not going to get a good mix if you're just playing with tools. Like, I just don't think, because here I'm still pulling apart and blending the silica with the fiberglass, right? So, and now it just kind of has like a cotton ball kind of look to it, right? Now, here's the thing. What I'm learning about silica is if you do make gravy and you think that a cup of powder or a cup of flour is going to really do you good, that is not the case with silica. I would say that it probably has an equivalent of a quarter of a cup of thickening as opposed to a whole cup. So I generally end up mixing just from the start. I get 2 of these because it really just doesn't have the same thickening characteristics as actual flour. It needs more, a lot more. So you can use a mixer, you know, and press it down to try to get the weight of the glass on there because it's a little breezy today and it does want to kind of run away. But I try to keep my hand there and just give it a little mix until I, again, just want to try to create an even distribution between the fiberglass shards, right, and the silica. All right, so I am pretty much mixed, and now I'm going to gauge how many pumps of hardener do I need. Now, this looks like a lot, but it actually isn't, and this is what I was saying about how it's not going to thicken up like you thought. So I like to start with a number I can remember because then I have to add the hardener and I honestly forget. So I usually just do a solid 5 squirt. And when you read the directions, it always says for the epoxy, make sure you mix them together at the same time. You cannot do that here. And it took me a while to become comfortable with this. But basically, I'm just going to press and blend and press and blend and let it sort of hardener. I don't do that until you have exactly what you want in terms of what are you doing here? Do you need to build up? Do you need to do vertical or overhead? You don't want it to sag. The directions say peanut butter consistency. This is slow cure, by the way, guys. This is the slow hardener because of the temperature out here. I didn't want to have to be in a hurry, so you can get away with it. So it's starting to warm up, which tells me it's activated. And now we're just going to go over to the spot and I'm going to show you how I put it on. I'm also going to grab my little bit of acid. All right, so here it is. Here's my ball. That's about the best size ball I've had. It's a good size ball. This is probably the 5th or 6th one I've put on. And I'm going to go ahead and continue filling out. And, right? But, might as well be safe, not sorry. So I'm just careful. And, you know, again, this is the fun part. What's nice is it's not dripping, it's not falling on me. So I got plenty of texture, plenty of grip, which I find has been an issue for fiberglass and epoxy. Right, and I just kind of pull it. So when I get up here in these corner pockets and create a nice angle so that when I do lay out the glass, I have that 45-degree angle. And I am going to glass over this, guys. This is just a backing for this area that had a gap, right? There was big gaps in here. I do have I'll do a comparison of before and after. And then I just start smoothing out like paper mache from school. Pretty easy. Just be patient. Do it backwards. Mix your silica and your fiberglass. First cut up your fiberglass and then put in your silica. You're going to need a little more than you think you're going to need if you want to get this texture. If you want this texture, you're going to need probably
twice as much, if not a little bit more, right? But don't mix. Then you're going to put in the resin, and you are not going to put in the hardener until you have fully mixed the resin and the silica. Be patient. You don't have to be in a hurry. That's why we don't mix the hardener until the very end, so that you can mess with it a little bit and get it how you want it. And use your hands. There isn't a tool yet, I don't think, that works better than your hands for really molding and blending. Okay? And then there's one last thing that I do, and hold on. And the last little thing I do is I bring along with me a little cup of acetone, and I dip my fingers in there with the gloves on, and I just smooth, because the acetone will not stick. The epoxy won't stick to the acetone, and it allows me to really make a cast, smooth it out, and really get into any bubbles that I might have. Press it down really good, make the shape that I want. And again, I find that the hands are the best tool. Put your gloves on. Put your fingers in some acetone with your gloves. There is a better set of gloves. These actually do disintegrate, but they didn't have any in my size, so I had to go with the cheaper ones. And again, now I have filled out another big section. If you hold on real sec, I'm just gonna keep showing you how I push and mold and dip. Now when you go fiberglass over this, you are gonna have to rough it up a little bit. That's the disadvantage of smoothing it, but I feel like it is nothing to just kick the grinder on and give it some edge. And I think the benefits outweigh the work, although some people might not agree. Oh. Very quick and easy to smooth out any mistakes. Yep. So that's that. So that's that, guys. Again, you can see it in the background, and you can see in the background also where I have done this on quite a few of the different holes, including that one. And I like it. I liked learning it, and I like doing it, and I really enjoy the creativity of it. And so yeah, this is what I'm going to keep doing all day. I'm going to do a couple more patches right there in that spot, and I'll do a video of it to show you how it looks when it's all done.
Eventually, I took a break from fiberglassing and investigated the composting toilet. It's time to change them, I think.
My battle shit.
It's so unassuming, all white and plasticky and everything. It looks so hospitally clean, and it's not that bad. I open it up. Watch this. Yeah, see? Open the lid. Everything's fine, right? But I'm quite certain everything is actually not fine. I'm quite certain that this is a fly manufacturing facility. That's all I got. I'm going to open it up. I'm going to add more dirt. And I got to empty it. I'm not sure I'm going to do that today, though. I don't know what I'm going to discover. Hold on. There it is. The contents. I don't understand why I keep seeing flies coming out. What am I missing? Ew. What is that? Flies. Maggots? Maybe maggots. I don't know. It looks so unassuming, though. Okay, hold on. So here's the thing. I gotta empty that. I gotta clean it. And I'm honestly not so sure I like the whole juicy part. Because composting dirt doesn't look juicy. So I think I'm going to add some dirt to it, like adding flour to gravy or silica to epoxy. Or any of those things to thicken it. I'm really into thickeners. I'm a thicker girl. So it doesn't surprise me that I'm into thickeners, but honestly, I'm going to thicken this because something about juicy slime manufacturing facilities disturbs me. And I'm going to try to keep it calm. And I'm not going to go through the fucking crazy door. It's kind of gross. Now, I did empty my dad's toilet and I did not video that. But it wasn't so bad. Actually, it was easy peasy. So I think I'm just maybe overdue on this. I'm not sure why. I think there's a fly breeding facility. I'm going to get to the bottom of it. Okay, bye.
Alright, so that brown stuff, that's the peat moss. And this little handle over here, I'm supposed to turn. Y'all watch, because I gotta watch the stirring. I gotta watch how I stir.
It's kind of gross. It's kind of odorous. I think I did something wrong. I'm gonna have to look online or something. And honestly, my takeaway for the composting toilets is I would like to design a insert that you can just pull out the stirrer and pull out the insert and be like, bye, biodegradable. Maybe a hemp liner that can just go plop into the water or into the dumpster or into the, not the garden, because it's not supposed to be for human consumption. I'm trying to keep this all like calm and straight face. I'm still pro composting toilets despite the current city situation and the bottom of my toilet being some kind of a fly manufacturing facility, although I will say this, I did not see maggots. Gross. Alright, so as you can see, I reassembled number 5. I'm hot. It is hot today, and I think I am going to take a break from fiberglassing and everything and take y'all for a road trip. And we're gonna go meet a friend. I'm not sure if I can say her name yet. I'll have to ask her. At a little store called the Battlefield Country Store. Look at my nails. Okay, acetone does wonders on the fingernails. So I'm gonna close up Bob and I'm gonna get the hell out of Dodge and into some AC in the car. And y'all are coming with me, and we're going on a road trip.
A few moments later.
Okay, this is the shake. We're getting this shake. Does it actually look like the picture? She says yes enthusiastically, but she doesn't want to be on camera. And we got a pup cup that Bud won't eat. And then the drinks arrived. And Jasmine tells me I have to work smarter, not harder, and put the straw in by removing the coconut. Dun, 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 dun. After this, we went and met a nice young horse who is retiring from the racetrack and is looking for a new career. After meeting the little horse, well, he's not so little, I drove back to Bob just in time for some fireworks.
So this concludes the episode for this week. I'm going to try to pump it out tonight. It's about 2 o'clock in the morning, and that means it's Wednesday morning, and I'm still not done. I have a lot of updates, but I didn't put it into this video because I'm kind of behind. But again, we're trying to splash July 18th, so there's a lot going on between now and then, and I'll try to get out another one the night before just to let you know where we're at in space and time. Okay, see you soon. Bye, y'all.